There was a woman, Anna, about to face the electric chair. But before the button could be pressed, she said something so surprising that it made everyone in the room pause. It was something that could change everything people thought they knew about her. Can you imagine it? Such an intense scene that it seemed straight out of a movie, but it was real life. Everyone was captivated, as if they were watching the final episode of a TV series. And with each day of the trial, the tension only increased. The courtroom was packed, with people from all walks of life waiting to see what would happen. There were those who wanted justice, those who just wanted to see the circus burn, and even those who believed in her innocence. But the media had already portrayed Anna as a heartless villain, so most were against her. The defense was in a tough battle, trying to present facts that no one wanted to hear. And the prosecutor? He spoke with such drama, as if he were performing on a stage. But Anna's lawyer didn't give up, even though he was tired of the fight. He reminded everyone about the presumption of innocence, something that many seemed to have forgotten. In the streets, opinions were divided, but the majority believed Anna was guilty. And protests were constant, with signs demanding justice for someone named Maria. And social media. It was a true war of words, with people inventing crazy theories and repeating media lies. While all this was happening, Anna was there, listening to every accusation, feeling increasingly alone. But she clung to the one thing she had, the truth about her innocence. Amidst all the chaos and condemnation, it was the only thing keeping her standing, even when everything seemed against her. In the whirlwind of accusations surrounding Anna and the media frenzy engulfing her, she stood out as a beacon of enigmatic serenity. As the trial unfolded, her presence in the courtroom was like a living counterpoint to the collective hysteria gripping the city. On a tension-filled afternoon, after a barrage of evidence presented by the prosecution, Anna's lawyer approached her, concerned. "Anna, we need you to speak, to tell your side of the story. Silence only fuels speculation. We can dismantle the accusations with the truth," he whispered, hoping for a response that could change the course of the trial. However, Anna remained steadfast, looking at him with a clarity that seemed to transcend the courtroom walls. "No matter what I say," she replied, her voice laden with a quiet strength. "The truth I carry defies what they want to believe. My words would only be another whisper in the whirlwind of their convictions." Intrigued and frustrated, the lawyer insisted, "But truth is the foundation of justice. We must trust that it will prevail despite the odds." Anna smiled faintly, not with disdain, but with a deep understanding born of her own experience. "Truth is a lonely companion in times of injustice," she said. "It stays with me, even when the world turns against me. And it is in this truth where I find my peace, not in the absolution they may offer me." Despite her lawyer's insistence, Anna chose the path of silent dignity, facing the gazes of doubt and judgment with a stance that defied explanation. Anna was like a rock in the midst of a storm, strong and unyielding. Her calmness was not weakness, but her inner strength shining through, a way of not letting the bad things around her affect her. Everyone was intrigued by this, wondering how she managed it. How does she do it? The reporters wondered on the news. What's her secret? But for Anna, that calmness wasn't a tactic. It was her safe haven, a place where she could think clearly even amidst chaos. She knew that whatever happened in the trial, the truth about who she was would remain with her. Her inner peace was like armor, showing that she was innocent even when it seemed like no one wanted to listen. In the cold and bleak cell where Anna spent her days before the execution, the silence was heavy, as if something bad was about to happen. And it was in that solitude that Judge Adriano appeared, as if fate itself had arrived to deliver the final blow. With a smile that didn't reach his eyes, Adriano entered the cell, his imposing presence contrasting with the dim light of the hallway. "Anna," he began, his voice cold and calculated, "I came to see how you're spending your final hours. I think it's a lesson for you." Anna looked at him, mixing surprise and anger. Did you come here just to provoke me, Adriano? To witness up close the suffering you helped create? Provoke? Adriano laughed, but there was no humor. No, Anna. I came because I wanted you to know that I won. Your pain, your imminent end. That's my revenge. It's all I have left now. He looked at her, his words cutting deeper than the chains that held her. Do you think that hurts me, Adriano? My pain will end soon, but you'll have to live with what you've done, with the lies you've told. That's worse than any execution. Adriano approached the bars, his eyes filled with hatred. Do not underestimate my hatred, Anna. Your hatred only shows who you really are, Adriano, she responded firmly. You can take my life, but you can never erase the truth. It will endure, while your lies will die with you. For a moment, Adriano seemed to hesitate, as if Anna's words had touched something within him. But he quickly regained his composure, his expression turning once again to contempt. Enjoy your last hours, Anna, because it's all you have. Adriano bid his final words and left, leaving Anna alone with her thoughts in the dark night. That visit brought neither comfort nor resolution, only reminding Anna of betrayal and pain. But it also ignited a flame within her, a strong desire not to let Adriano's hatred define her final moments. Even in the darkness, she firmly held onto a small spark of hope, an inner voice of truth that could still emerge. In the execution chamber, a heavy silence hung in the air, dense like fog. Prison staff, journalists, and some local authorities filled the space, their expressions ranging from morbid anticipation to palpable discomfort. The attention was almost tangible, as if everyone shared a collective breath, awaiting the final outcome of the drama that had captured everyone's attention. Anna, with her hands and feet bound, was led to the chair that would be her end. Despite her paleness, her face radiated defiant serenity. Her eyes scanned the room, taking in every detail, every face, until they settled on Adriano, who, unlike his usual posture, seemed restless. When the officer approached to ask if she had any last words, Adriano was tense. Anna took a deep breath, her voice firm, breaking the sepulchral silence. Yes, I do, she said, causing a murmur of surprise among those present, including Adriano, who seemed to hold his breath. A shadow of concern passed over his face as he waited for what Anna had to say. I am Valentina's mother, Anna began, and a collective shock rippled through the room. Onlookers glanced at each other, surprised by the revelation. The child everyone believes died at the hands of a monster, Anna continued, her voice firm but laden with emotion. I want you to know the truth, she continued, looking directly at Adriano. Valentina is alive. She never died. They took her from me when she was just a baby, by those who believed she would be better off away from me. But I never forgot her, never stopped searching for her. Anna's words resonated in the room, as everyone tried to grasp the shocking revelation. Adriano, stunned, tried to process the information, his expression showing a mixture of shock and disbelief. I know where my daughter is, Anna asserted with determination, and I will do anything to get her back, even if it means sacrificing my own life. A whirlwind of emotions swept through the room as everyone tried to assimilate Anna's explosive revelation. For some, it was a ray of hope, an unexpected twist in a case already full of turns. For others, it was a total shock, challenging everything they believed they knew about the case. As Anna faced the room, her expression was a mixture of determination and serenity, as if she had finally found the purpose that would guide her to the end. At that moment, she was no longer just a condemned prisoner. She was a desperate mother, willing to do anything to find her lost daughter. Adriano stood up abruptly, his chair creaking under the sudden movement. This is absurd. She's trying to manipulate the system, he shouted, trying to control the narrative, but his voice betrayed a slight tremor. Lorena continued to ignore the interruption. She's with Adriano's grandparents in a place he calls hell. Verify it before it's too late. The room erupted into chaos. The officer in charge of the execution hesitated, looking to his superiors for guidance. Murmurs grew louder, everyone trying to assimilate the implications of this twist. One of Anna's lawyers acted quickly and stepped forward. "We demand the immediate suspension of this execution. There is new evidence that must be investigated." Adriano, now visibly affected, tried to maintain his facade of indignation. "She's lying. This is a desperate trick." However, doubt had already been sown. The prison warden, a middle-aged man with a now gravely serious expression, nodded to the officer. "Suspend the execution. We will investigate this accusation immediately." As Anna was removed from the electric chair, the exchange of looks she had with Adriano was of an intensity that only the most observant noticed. It was a look that spoke volumes without words. The truth was finally beginning to crack the surface of lies built up over the years. Lorena's revelation not only halted the execution, but also opened up a vortex of possibilities that could completely redefine the case. The fate of Lorena, Valentina, and Adriano himself now hung by a thread of uncertainty and imminent revelations. Following Anna's shocking revelation, authorities initiated an urgent investigation. The assertion that Valentina was alive and hidden with Adriano's grandparents turned the case on its head. The entire country's anticipation was focused on the development of this plot. In an interrogation room with bare walls and a metal table between them, Adriano sat, his once imposing posture now diminished under the weight of the circumstances. On the other side, a seasoned detective prepared to unravel the truth. "Let's clear things up, Adriano. Your relationship with Anna was more than professional, wasn't it?" began the detective, his words precise like blades. Adriano, trying to maintain composure, responded hesitantly. "It was a complicated relationship, but her claims are absurd. I would never harm my own daughter." "Complicated barely begins to describe it," replied the detective, laying out photos and messages exchanged between Adriano and Anna. "And as for the hell where you said Valentina would be, coincidentally it's the same place where your grandparents live, a place you described exactly with those words." Adriano swallowed hard, the mask of confidence beginning to crack. This is irrelevant, just words said in the heat of the moment." "No, Adriano. They're pieces of a puzzle that we're beginning to piece together, and all the pieces point to you." Meanwhile, police teams headed to the isolated farmhouse, finding a scene no one expected. Valentina, now 8 years old, was playing in the garden under the watchful gaze of an elderly couple who identified themselves as the girl's great-grandparents. "Adriano brought Valentina to us 5 years ago," explained the great-grandfather, his voice trembling. "He said her mother had a terrible accident and that it was dangerous for Valentina to stay in the city." The discovery was a devastating blow to Adriano's defense. The evidence was irrefutable, and his meticulously constructed plot began to unravel. Back in the somber interrogation room, the detective confronted Adriano with a shocking revelation. Valentina has been found, Adriano, alive with her grandparents, exactly where Anna said she would be. The silence grew thick as Adriano, realizing his game was up, lowered his head, his impenetrable facade finally crumbling. "I just wanted to protect my career. I didn't know what else to do," he confessed weakly, filled with remorse. The detective, with a steely gaze and a voice dripping with disdain, replied, "Protecting your career at the expense of truth, justice, and even your own daughter." The pieces of the puzzle began to fit together, revealing the extent of Adriano's malevolent scheme. He had manipulated evidence, orchestrated Valentina's kidnapping, and framed Anna, all to conceal his forbidden relationship and safeguard his reputation. The revelation shook not only the judicial system, but also public opinion. Adriano was stripped of his title and faced serious criminal charges, while Anna emerged not only as innocent, but as the true victim of a monstrous injustice. The collapse of Adriano's deceit not only cleared Anna's name, but also exposed the dark depths someone could descend to protect their own lies. In the wake of these distressing events, the case took an unexpected turn. While Adriano faced the consequences of his actions, public attention remained fixed on Anna and Valentina, now reunited under extraordinary circumstances. But the story that followed was one of healing and redemption, rather than simply a fresh start. In the countryside, Anna and Valentina faced the challenge of rebuilding their relationship from scratch. Valentina, still grappling with confusing and distorted memories, had to learn to trust the woman now standing before her as her true mother. Meanwhile, Anna carried the weight of guilt and the suffering of lost years, seeking a way to reintroduce Valentina into her life and heart. Instead of fleeing from the scene of their trials, Anna chose to stay in the same city, determined to transform her pain into something positive. Using compensation received from the miscarriage of justice, Anna founded a support center for women and children victims of legal injustices and abuses of power. And Valentina, inspired by her mother's strength and resilience, dove headfirst into the project. Together, mother and daughter turned their tale of despair into one of hope and community service. The center became a beacon of light amidst darkness, offering aid and support to all in need. And ironically, it became one of the loudest voices advocating for reforms in the judicial system, using Anna's case as a vivid example of the need for change. As time passed, the bond between Anna and Valentina flourished. Overcoming past traumas, they found strength in each other, united by bonds of love and shared purpose. And as Valentina grew, she became a passionate advocate alongside her mother, inspiring others with her determination and courage. At a fundraising event for the center, Anna looked out at the crowd before her, her eyes shining with gratitude and determination. "Look where we are now," she said, her voice resonating with emotion. "Look what we can achieve together. This is redemption, not just for me, but for all the voices silenced by injustice." And in that moment, Anna and Valentina became not just survivors, but true examples of how adversity can be transformed into triumph. Anna and Valentina's story didn't end when they moved to a house in the countryside. In fact, it was just the beginning of an exciting journey. They didn't want to leave the past behind, but to use it to help other people who were going through difficult times like they did. It wasn't just about overcoming personal challenges, but also about making a difference in other people's lives. It was a testament to how we can turn tough moments into something good, performing life-changing actions and bringing hope to everyone around us.